Hello and welcome back to Farming Simulator 22 on Calmsden Farm. Right, so it is May, so it's been a couple of months since my last video, and yeah, a lot's gone on. It really has. We've obviously got into the nicer months of the year now, let's say, where we can do a bit of farming. This is going to be tricky to reverse in. Definitely shouldn't have a silage bale sitting in the back while you're trying to reverse. The reason I've actually got that there is because it's been sitting in this field just in front of us now since pretty much for a year since we last did some silage. So I thought it was about time I actually picked it up and moved it, which is what I've done. Quickly, let's go and have a look at the fields, because obviously there's been some changes with the way they are now. Obviously grown and got much more closer to harvest time. I think we're only like a month away from the canola. I think the barley's a little bit further on, but the canola, which you can probably just see in the distance over there, is starting to take shape now. But this is the barley, 100%, well 98%. We're obviously missed the mulching side of things, but it is right where we want it, 98%. And then the same for the field over there, just over there. This is exactly the same for the barley. So we're getting close to that second harvest, and after that I'm going to be turning weeds back on as well. As soon as we've harvested these fields, weeds will be going back on. So let's just swing this around. We'll go have a quick look at the canola, and then I'll go and head over to the grass fields. So I have been cleaning off the tractors as well because they've been busy. Not looking forward to the maintenance bills, I really aren't. They're getting to that point now where I'm going to have to do something soon, but they're just so extreme. FS22 really is a kicker when it comes to paying for maintenance. Right, so this should be a good spot. Just pull up here. Yeah, this is the canola. As you can see, it's bang on right there. It's one stage away, so we'll be harvesting this probably in the next episode, maybe the one after. It depends how much grass work we've got to do. So let's head over to the grass fields now. As you saw in the last episode, I was focusing on getting these grass fields ready, getting them more improved, trying to max out the yield that we can get from them, and I think I've done a good job. I'm happy with how it's worked out. So if we just head this direction, this is field 4. This is my grass field. This is fully fertilised. It's ready to go. Lime spreading it. You can see that the grass isn't quite at the level it is to start mowing yet. It's one away, so we're very close with this field. Luckily I'm not going to be doing any damage driving over it with the truck, but it's needed. So if we just head over here, we've got field 35, which I think I've called this grass field 2. And that's all done. So that's fully fertilised, lime spreading it, and as you can see the grass is growing quite nice. And we've got the custom textures as well. So if you do plant in your own seeds, it's good to know that the custom textures from Oxy are still going to be there. So let's just have a quick look at the map. But first, while we're here, we may as well just show you the cows. 4 months, they are doing quite well. Still producing, obviously, a bit of slurry, not too much, 14,000. We're getting to the point where I could probably start spreading some of that, but we need a tanker first. It's definitely going to be the next thing I buy. And yeah, they're consuming a lot of the TMR. I think they've gone down 10,000 litres. So soon they'll start touching the hay. Now, we've got a lot in there. We don't need to worry about it, but we are quite down on the amount of bales that we've got in storage. So we do need to start making some hay, which is what we're going to be doing in this episode, because one of the fields is ready. So if we go over here, you can see, if we look, even though it says it's all ready to harvest, it's not actually ready to harvest in field 4, field 35, and this grass field here, which is the one that I said I was going to change, and I have done that, so I'll show you that next as well. The only one that's ready is this grass field over here, so the one the hidden one in the woodlands. That's the one we're going to be focusing on in this episode. We're going to mow that down, we're going to row it, we're going to ted it, or we're going to ted it first, then we're going to row it, and then we're going to be doing some hay bales, all in this episode. But if we just quickly go over here, you can see that what I've done is made some custom boundaries, and I've actually named them and put them in a folder so they all separate off. I've got grass field 1 here, or grass 1, grass 2, grass 3, and then this is actually field 4, but it's in a folder for grass 4. So if I just jump into the Hilux and show you in the auto drive, we can move it just a second as well, maybe over here. So as you've probably seen if you're using my auto drive network, I've got some folders, and I've made a new folder called grass fields, and I've put them in there. So it's nice to have it separated. Now the good thing about it is, well, these are all grass fields that we're not going to lose out on if we get some sheep or obviously the cows. They are separate fields. Now, we haven't got sheep currently, so we could mow this if we wanted to, but I think I'm going to focus on the 4 fields that I've got, and then if we haven't got sheep by then, we'll mow this one as well. So for this, I'm going to jump up in the air because I have been busy. So, like I mentioned in the last episode, there was like a fence and a gate probably going across there in the middle of the field, and we did have the horse barn, but I sold that to purchase this patch of land here, this half of this field, and then I've combined it into one. So I knocked down the fence and the gate, and I've gone around with a spader again, released that out. Also used the same seeder and everything in the last episode, and we planted in some grass seeds. And it's not fully fertilised this. I only got a chance to do the 1 layer of fertiliser on it, so it still needs one more. But we are probably going to miss out on this one being fully fertilised, unfortunately. We'll do it all for the next time. So when we get the first cut off all these fields, we'll make sure all 4 of them are fully fertilised, because that one over there needs lime still and fertiliser. But the problem is I needed to mow it first before I got to that. So over here, what I've done, if I actually just jump out of flight mode now, because obviously this is where the chickens are going to be, but we haven't got any chickens yet. I've just stored some of the stuff that I've obviously used, and because it was leased equipment, I wanted to keep the, for example, the fertiliser and the seeds and the lime that I've used, just for when I obviously get to using it again, especially on the big grass field over there. And I thought I'd part the New Holland up, or the Ford, depending on what you want to call it. I think this is a Ford 8340, not a New Holland, but it is technically a New Holland. But yeah, so I'm parking stuff in there, but I think it's really good now that I've got 4 proper good fields for grass, and 2 of them are maximised as well, which is the bonus. And this one's very close. It just needs, like I said, some fert, and I think we'll be making a massive amount of grass, and hopefully silage as well, because silage is good money. We might start doing some in a bunker just to sell, because I think we're all good for grass silage. We don't really need to make any more for this year, because we're feeding the animals hay, well, the cows, but we will be feeding also the sheep hay. So we really just need to make some hay this time around. We've got enough silage to last us for when we're doing the TMR mixes. So if we do make silage, we will be selling it, because as we learned a couple episodes back, it is some really good money. So this is the field we're going to be aiming for today. On this episode, we're going to get this mowed up, we're going to make some hay, I'm going to bale it all up, and yeah, it should turn out pretty well. As you can see, it's fully grown, it's gone to head, and it's the best time to harvest this now. I do like it when it's this time of year, in May. You can see that everything's just about to get to summer, harvest time's coming around, and yeah, you do quite a lot of grass work as well. So I think if I just park this up here, that'll be perfectly fine. Job done. Right, so yeah, let's get the class. I've given them all a wash, like I said. It definitely needed it. Maintenance is getting a bit low on this. It really is. So we'll have to drop the front weight off. So if I just put that probably there, that'll be fine. There we go. That'll be fine. Job done. And then we need to go and grab these mowers to start work on that field. My Heston baler definitely needs a good wash as well. We'll focus on doing that probably after we've used it. You're going to be using it quite a bit. There we go, we're all hooked up, ready to go. It is a hefty thing when you think about this. It's quite heavy. I'm glad we've got a bigger class for this, because these mowers are massive when you think about how much it extends out the back. I'm surprised it doesn't want to tip. If we sit in cab, it won't look so bad. So we'll head this way. Now I have set it up as an auto drive as well for all fields. All the grass fields, I've got them all set up now for entrances. And the good thing about it as well, the waypoints that I've set up for each grass field, because I've put them directly in the field, we could set like a tractor to do a job from somewhere else and he'll drive there. Whoa. And yeah, he'll start the job up. Right, so we're here. Now, probably just going to go this way. Doesn't really matter about going clockwise or anti-clockwise. Let's just unfold this up and we'll get mowing. And because we're going to TED it, it really doesn't matter how we leave this. Doesn't have to be in a row or anything. Doesn't really matter at all. How did they just come from? Just appeared. I think. Just want to make sure here. I thought it was going a little bit slow compared to what it normally does, but it must be fine. There we go. 14 miles an hour is probably about right. So I can't remember exactly how many bales we got off last time. We haven't done anything different to this field this time round, so we should get the same amount of number. We should get the same number of hay bales. There shouldn't be too much difference. Obviously, if we put lime on it, obviously increase the fertiliser and all that, we will be getting quite a bit more, but I think it should be fine. So I'm probably going to do the mowing, and then I'll set Courseplate to do some tedding, and then the windrowing, and then I might even get it to do the baling as well, so we can get it all on a bit of a montage. This is actually a pretty good sized field, this is. And with it being like something you already own, you don't have to purchase this. It's a bit of a bonus. I wouldn't recommend chopping down the trees though, around the edge, because they are not meant to be chopped. I mean, the way that they're put in on the map is, yeah, they're basically under the ground, about halfway. So you see them as like the branches sticking out. Has like more of a bush effect, if that makes any sense. So I would recommend, if you're going to take them out, try use the Giants Editor tool. Talking about the Giants Editor tool as well, when I actually, let me just get that bit that I missed. Yeah, when I removed the fence, it was pretty simple because I'd normally go into the map file and delete them out that way, which is pretty straightforward. But if you want to get rid of the gate, that's a little bit more tricky. I don't know if you've ever noticed, if you go into this shop demolish section, you know, the construction menu, and go to demolish items, you can actually delete out like the chicken coop, for example, but if you do that, all the gates will disappear. So if the reason for that is if you go into the mod itself, extract the actual map, the mod file, and usually you go into the map, I think it's ID file, but if you go into the placeables folder and actually go into the chickens, the chicken coop, the barn for them, you can see as you open that up with Giants Editor tool that all the gates are actually attached to that. So it's quite tricky, but you have to figure out which gate you're trying to delete and then delete it from there, and then obviously save that, zip the whole thing back up again, and then you'll find that that's the way you want to be doing it if you want to delete any gates out. Now it's not all gates, it's just the metal ones are in with the chickens. So that's why if you delete the chickens within the game itself, like on a save game, all the gates disappear because you're actually deleting them out at the same time. So I'd recommend never deleting out the chicken coop, never demolishing it, and also if you're trying to get rid of gates, remember they won't show up in the map file. So the map file that you're editing within Giants Editor tool will always show up in the chicken placeable one. But if you're using Giants Editor anyway, you probably know what I'm talking about without me showing you exactly. So I'm going to make a little guess now of what we should get from this field, and I can't actually remember at all what we got the first time we did this field, so it is a proper guess. But I'm going to guess if we do the big size, the most biggest, you know, size, I think it's like just under 9,000 litres. I think, I can't remember exactly, it might be different with straw than it is for hay. Then again, if we're using 4Ds Heston bale, it might not be. But I'm going to guess, let's say 15. I might be completely wrong. I'm just going to say 15. 15 bales, ain't too bad. I mean, that's quite a lot actually. Might get more, we might get less. I might be completely wrong, I might be bang on. Who knows? But let's just say 15. So what I'll do is I'll finish up, get it mowed up, and then I'll cut back in when it's done, and we'll go and get all the other equipment set up within Courseplay so we can start off the montage. Right, so all the mowing is done. The driver in the class is just coming back. I've set it up with a bit of an auto drive just to head back. Now I need to get the windrow out to set up the course, but also the tether. Now, because of where the windrow is, we're going to get that out first, and then we can set these up. So we need to also bring back the Ford / New Holland. So let's head back with this. There we go. So if we want the arable farm and the tool shed, job done, there you go. And we may as well take over now with this, because we can actually use this for the baler. And we're going to have it free, we may as well. So let's just back this up, park it in here, job done. While we're waiting for the Ford, we may as well. Now I think, there we go. Some of them you have to lower first, and then there's some that you obviously can't lower, whereas I think you probably could lower that in real life before you obviously drop it, because it's going to make an almighty whack if you don't. There we go, and same again. Aha, so this one does need lowering. If you lower it just a little bit and then jump out, it still works. Right, so let's get hooked up to the baler with this. There you go, so the Ford's here. I have seen a really nice Ford tractor that I want. It's only like 90 brake horsepower, but I think it'd be perfect for this farm, especially with the cows. I think it'd do the job there. Right, so we'll turn that off for a second. We need the Ford. Where are you? There you go. And we're going to get hooked up with this to the tether, and that's going to be the first job. I want to try and set this up. It's going to be difficult, but I want to try and set it up where I can actually set them going. And if they start from the same direction, the same point, I might be able to do this. We'll find out if we can do multiple at the same time. We might have to obviously wait for the baler. Ooh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, we might have to wait for the baler, but we should still be able to set the tether going with the windrow after it. First thing we need to do is obviously do the course. So we're going to jump in here, let it save, and we're going to go back. We're going to courseplay field work and target position. Now I want it to start. I'm going to tell it to start, hopefully, because it's going to drive to this point. So if I tell it to start here, it might work, it might not. Put the field position just there. It's good because it's actually picked up exactly what I've mowed. Not the actual field boundary, which I do like. So if we go now and generate a course, we want to go number of headlands for the tether. We don't need 4. We could only 2 would be plenty. We'll do a 20% overlap to try and reduce any missed bits, and we don't need to skip a row. And I think that's fine. So let's generate the fieldwork course. That's not too shabby. I'm happy with that. And then we don't need to save this because it's the tether. But what we can do now that it's got its course, let's go back and temporary course, first waypoint. And then what we want to do is change this. We don't need that anymore, don't need that. If we go to grass fields and pick grass field 2, I think it is. No, it's 3, still getting used to that. Grass field 3, click the courseplay button. Off you go. Now he should start on his own when he gets there. But what we'll do is we'll try and set up the windrow as well. So let's go here, no course. First thing I actually want to do is just check his course starts all the way up there. That's strange. So he's going to come because he's doing his up and down rows. So we need to try and emulate that. at least he's stopping where we set him going. So he's going to start there, but yeah. It is always better to start on the up and downs for this. But let's see if we can try and emulate this, where it starts and finishes. So let's have a quick look at that. Weirdly, he is starting down here, but if we give him enough time, it should work. Fingers crossed. If we just give him a little bit of time to get to that point, this should work. So what we need to do now is just save this. And I do have a field here, but obviously I'm going to need to create a new folder. But if we actually just quickly save it in here, and I'll sort out the folders in between this episode and the next. So we'll just save it in there. 8.4 meter row, and we'll call it grass. I'm going to sort it out anyway. I will put it in proper folders and I'll create these courses and have them saved, because we're not going to be swapping out this equipment anytime soon. So that's all done. So all we need to do now, before we set that going, is just have a quick look at this guy and how he's getting on. So he's done a few. I like the fact that he started all on his own though. I don't have to do anything except send him there. But I think it's a little bit too early for us to send the windrow. So I think it is a perfect time now to stick in a bit of a montage. We'll be doing the tedding, the rowing and the baling. And then at the end we'll see actually how many bales we've got. And it'll give us a good indication as well of how many bales we're going to get from these other fields as well. Because we've got a lot of grass now to work with. Which is going to be good news, and hopefully soon as well, in the next episode maybe, we can start doing the other grass fields and also getting the sheep. Right, so welcome back. Hopefully you enjoyed the montage. So let's have a look. We've got 7,500 litre bales and we've got 24 of them. So a lot more than I expected. Probably the same as we got the first time around we did this field. I've just forgotten. But I think that's good going. 24 hay bales is going to go a long way. It really is. And yeah, we will get even more in this field as soon as we put lime down and fertilise, which is what I'm going to be doing. Because now is the perfect time to get this field properly set with lime and yeah, some fertilizer. If we just have a quick look at this and then scroll along, you can see that it's the only one now that needs lime. These two are fully fertilized, and this one, like I said, it's got the one stage. But overall, I think definitely good. 24 hay bales and course plate and auto drive again worked a treat. It really did. I got some good shots. One weird thing that went on is when I jumped out of these tractors, my character is in them. All three of them. I haven't got a clue. Don't even know why, but it is. I mean, there's no course activated in it, but yeah. So I've got 3 clones at the moment. So what I'll probably do now in between this episode and the next is I'll put these away. I'll manually load these and unload these away because it's not too many at all. So it's like one trip. But I might actually look at buying that trailer that I wanted to get. The 4D modding one that can auto-load Heston bales. Because thinking about it, when we go and do the next 3 grass fields, we're obviously going to have a lot more. And I think then it'll be a perfect time to actually use that auto-load feature. But the good thing about it is we can always use it as well. So what I'll actually do is use the current trailer that I've got now, pick all these up from the field, take them, put them away to stock up a bit more, and then we'll get the new trailer in the next episode when we do the other 3 grass fields. And hopefully we'll be closer to harvest as well. We're definitely not far away. If we just have a quick look, you can see that the growth stage on these fields are dark green, especially these 2 here. But if we have a look in this menu here, you can see that canola is pretty much ready to harvest in July, and so is barley. So I'm expecting all 3 fields to be ready in July time. So we got 1 more month and then the next month after, so 2 months, and we'll be doing some harvest. But by that time we'll be definitely doing the grass field, so definitely in the next episode we'll concentrate on getting even more hay done. But on that note, I am going to leave the video there. So thanks for watching. I do appreciate it every single time. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a thumbs up because that really does help me out. And if you're new, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this one on Farming Simulator.